So it's the standard 4-speed motor. And as you remember, this first batch was this natural gray color, and the second batch will be pink colored, and I don't know about the color of the third batch, but it might be green or blue or something. And the second generation version will be black, and that one will have the additional input and output for this counter if needed. Otherwise it works the same. But check this out. So it's not a 16mm camera these were originally designed for. This is a 35mm Konvas camera with 200 feet magazine to 61 meter magazine. And my aluminium plate is already machined, but it's late, so I 3D printed this temporary plate. This is, I think it's 75% thin film ratio, so it's sturdy enough for testing. I could maybe shoot a short film with this, but not two short films. It's not very sturdy, but it's good for tests. And the actual adapter is of course aluminium. I don't show it in this video because I don't want to remove this right away, but just one of these small mini-vlock batteries again, and I'm going to design some kind of tiny cheese plate here where I can mount the battery plate, probably around here. So this plate will be mounted with these M4 screws which are fastened to the outside of the motor mount. So that's why I could use a battery plate holder here mounted to the motor, but I don't want to do that because this mounting system is a bit different than on most cameras, so I don't want to put lots of weight on the motor itself. I want to put the accessories here, so I can just remove this and this on a tiny cheese plate and mount the battery here. How will I something like that? That would be good. And because of the mounting system, I originally thought that I could make a rosette mount here, but I don't want to stress the mount again, so. And this is another. So you notice the 15mm rods, and I need to get the aluminium version back before I can measure the exact, but it should be standard 80mm under the optical line. So standard 15mm rods, and this plate is very sturdy. It's only mounted with the one screw. Let's see if we can, yeah. So I have this screw here, 3/8 inch screw, and this is one of those small rig rod blocks, and this will be 1/4 inch threaded, so and the two holes on the top where the rod mount is attached. So this is temporary because of the 3D print. I just wanted to show the test version, the 3D printed one, to show what this will be. But this will be aluminium, and we have the 1/4 inch and 3/8 inch tripod mounting threads here. And they are not, you can see this, it was something like 20mm offset between the camera's own mounting thread at the optical center. So these are at the optical center. So it's very easy to mount to a tripod, and remember that there will be no bolts here because this is just to keep the 3D print together. So this will be very handy, and this is sturdy enough to mount the handles if you need them. And you can see there's kind of oval shape slot. So the idea is that this is black, so I don't think maybe you can see, but the idea is that the second support point is this rod mount pushed to the front of the camera, so this kind of prevents it from turning too easily. And you can attach some additional, you can I don't care if you glue this plate to the camera, but you can drill this if you want. I don't care, I'm not the camera police who will fly to the other side of the world to prevent you from drilling your plate, so you can just drill this how much you want. And these holes which are used to mount this rod block go through the whole plate system, and they are threaded the whole way, so you have 4 mounting points here, which are hopefully not, depends what kind of tripod plate you use, but in most cases this will be left exposed, and you can attach whatever you want here and solder set here. And if you need handles for handheld operating, you don't need to mount them to the lightweight rods. You can use these 1/4-inch mounting points and attach some other kind of mounting just for the handles. So, and people are wondering if this will run. It does run. Starting is sometimes it takes half a second, and it decides if it's a good day to start, but it may create that sound. It does run, and it does. It was maybe this battery is not enough for 50 FPS, but it's good enough for 33 FPS. So the blue light. Except the sync warning, keep raising that's very noisy. It was 50 FPS, yeah. Silly me, so that's 33. Yeah, 33 is fine. Hope that you can hear me. So, yeah, I'm a bit tired again. So previously it was 50 FPS. Of course, it's not enough to run it with this lower voltage battery, but 33 is fine with the Konvas. 16 might be a bit unstable because it was made for 16mm cameras. Yeah, it might be a bit unstable because it doesn't like the extra friction of the 35mm. So 24 and 25 and 33. I don't recommend the 16. Because I know that this is possible to use with Konvas, I might make some software changes to the 2.0 version of this motor, the black version. It does have different crystal sync software, so I will probably make it more compatible with Konvas, but you can use this normal first version with Konvas at 24 and 25 and 33 FPS. So that's more than enough for most shooting. It does have that horrible starting sound, but otherwise it's fine. So Konvases are noisy. Much better. It found the correct position on the table, so much better. That's about the normal sound of the Konvas. Yeah. And there, did the film end already? Yes. So, but yes, it does work. It's not the best motor for Konvas, but it does work. And if you want to spend 3 times more money, I will have much higher power motor which has the same mounting. The axle is different diameter, so it's not 5mm axle, it's 4mm axle, but the mounting plate is the same. Mounting system is the plate, mounting plate is the same, so it does bolt on the camera similar, and you can use the same mounting plate. The axle adapter is different, that's the only difference, and much higher power. This is 26 watt motor, and the high power version will have at least 50 watts. It might be 90 watts, but it's probably 50 watts, so double the power. And I'm not sure if this works with the 400 feet magazines, but the higher power version will. So this is the budget of the option, so remember that it's $600 motor. Very basically the cheapest one you can get if wanting crystal sync for this kind of, at least a new motor. You can maybe get the original Soviet motors for slightly cheaper, maybe 500, but they are pretty rare. So these are not rare. I can make you 20 of these if you want. So I have parts for 50 of these. But the rod system is pretty great, and I think it will be maybe something like 200. I don't know. I have to see how the first aluminium version works, but it's not expensive, so definitely not over 250 with shipping, but likely slightly over 200 probably. These Aton rods are not included. If I will be left with extra money, I might include some small Chinese rods, but these rods are very cheap, so you can just get these from eBay if you want. But horrible starting sound, but no problem at all otherwise. So and some kind of small plate where I can mount the battery, and then it starts. Yeah, that was it. Was not super easy, but it's relatively easy compared to what I normally do. So, and actually I do have one extra Konvas like this, so not the same camera, but very similar. So I can just, if you want to buy one of these motors with the mounting kit and the actual camera, then I can sell those to you. I think I probably don't have extra lenses, but this, if you only have money for one lens, buy the 35. This is absolutely fantastic lens. Great looking and very high performance. Can be bought for cheap and so on, yeah. And you can shoot the whole movie with one lens. 50mm is a tiny bit long lens for shooting only with the one lens, but 35 is absolutely perfect, especially for handheld. So this is just to get new ideas. If you have too much money and not enough cameras, then buy one of these. This is great. I will test sometime later how this fits to the Ronin gimbal, but I will probably use this with Steadicam mostly, and then tripod mounted and handheld, of course. When I get the aluminium version of this plate. So this is great. Yeah. Will be fantastic with the higher powered motor, but this is fine for most normal shooting. So, and again, very cheap motor. So, if needing a crystal motor and don't having the original Russian one, then get one of these. Yeah. And the plate when I get it done sometime later in January mostly. I should get these in aluminium before Christmas. So yeah. Next tests when I get the aluminium plate.